G'day guys, SirPrawnAlot here with another video. Today I'm going to be making a shrimp trap to catch all these little cherry shrimp up, so I can sell them off and make some money back. So here we have my bottle and my other bottle. We're going to be putting them to good use in this trap. Pretty much what we're going to do is cut off this one here, the end of it, and use the little funnel, and then cut off this end of this one and poke it in there. The shrimp will go in and then they won't be able to get out, and it's harder for them to get out because the opening's so small and they kind of just go into the corner. So you needed your trusty cutter of choice. This one's a little rattly, so might not be the best, but I'll see how it goes. And that's about it. You can use staples to staple them together, but I'm going to just slide them together and let friction keep them, together. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut, and I'll get back to you. So a little tip to get started cutting into it is grab a lighter and just heat up the end of the knife. That'll help you poke a little hole in it. So I'm going to do that. I can't do that with one hand, so I'm going to do that and cut away. So there it is cut. I got a little off course, as you can tell. It shouldn't be a worry, as long as this first bit will fit in, it should be good. The knife got a little sooty, but that's alright. That's what happens when you light things on fire. So now I have to cut off the next bit, which is the end of this bottle. It's really easy to cut along these lines because there's kind of the indent. So you just follow that line and then you can poke that in. So I'll get onto that next. So I went ahead and cut those bits. As you can see, these are the leftovers. You could totally do something with these as well, I'm sure. Put them to another use. Could even turn them into another catcher if you put that in there and put a hole in the bottom or something. But we don't need those anymore. We're focusing on these two bits. And from here it's pretty simple. You just have to poke this into there, which I should be able to do with one hand. It's in, ta-da! So you could staple these and make it a bit tighter. I'm not worried about that. It doesn't need to be completely sealed for me. I'm getting the medium, bigger size shrimp, so they won't be able to get out. But that's about it. You could attach, string or fishing wire or something like that to this end. So when you pick it up, it's easy to get out of the water. Once again, not worried about that. I'll just reach down and grab it. When you do put it in, you're going to want to bait it. So I'm using this little algae wafer. It's API. Anything that your shrimp eat would work. And it's really simple. You can either open up the top of it and put it in. Oh, that didn't work. Or put it in through this bit, which I'm trying to do. A little funnel. Failing. Yeah, put this here. And it's in. And then just shake it so it's underneath, so it doesn't float out or anything. So it's in there, and pretty much that'll bait the shrimp to go in. They'll crawl on through, and then they'll get stuck in here, either eating or just stuck because they can't get back out. They will be safe in here. They're not going to die or anything. I even scraped off most of the glue for the sticky tape, like the label. You don't have to do that because you're not leaving it in there for very long. And that's about it. You can also kind of scrape up this bit so the shrimp can get up easier. Once again, not worried about that. I think the shrimp will be up there fine. I may give it a little scrape, but that's about it. So I'll pop it in. I'm just gonna pop it in here. You want to make sure it fully fills up with the water, so you just lean it in and it will fill up. Get some duckweed in there as well. So that's completely full now, and it will sink all the way down. All the shrimp already there. And I forgot to put the bait in. The bait was just tucked up there. I did put another one in there anyway, seeing as this food will come out anyway pretty easily. One concern about doing this in a tank with fish is plecos and stuff may go in there, and other fish. I'm worried about my smallest pleco just going in there and not being able to get out, but you know, if you're monitoring it, won't be an issue. So hopefully all these shrimp will pile on in. I'll get a bunch of them all caught up, and I'll show you once they're all in. So as you can see, there's 2 in there at the moment. One just down here near the food. The other one was around there somewhere. Oh yeah, just swimming around. So it's working. This is only a couple minutes after putting it in. All the shrimp are having a suss. There's a bit of food out here that was from when I fed them earlier. So they're not going straight in there straight away, but if you hadn't fed them in the day or something and you popped it in, I'm sure many more would rush in. So they're just hanging out. I think this one can smell it through the lid maybe, because he's just hanging out at the top of it. But yeah, they're gonna work their way in there, and then it should be full of shrimp. Here's a couple of shrimp headed on in. They can be a bit shy when they try and go in, so yeah, gives them a little time, but once they're in, they're pretty well trapped. This is actually a day after I set it up and popped it in. I took it back out because I'm selling my shrimp tomorrow, and I was gonna stock them up and then sort them out in the morning. So yeah, another way you can bait it is by putting a bit of food out the front, like a smaller bit of food, and then putting a bit more food in the actual bottle. That way they kind of gather around the area and they head on in. So I think I have 4 in here at the moment, maybe 5 or 6. They're about the size I'm going for, and I'm sure there'll be many more to come. So this is how it's looking a couple hours after I put it in. As you can see, there's probably 20 or 30 shrimp in there. Pretty impressive. So this would be like the perfect amount to take down to the shops and sell them. They're not the highest quality, but they're cherry shrimp, and that's what my pet shop were after, which is good. So yeah, there they are. The trap works pretty well. I hadn't seen many getting out. I saw a few smaller ones getting out. They just went down the tube they came in. But as you can see, they all sort of build up and they struggle to get out. I'm probably going to let these all out and then do it overnight and then collect them in the morning. I don't think it's fair to leave them there all night. So yeah, I'll let them out and then do it again tomorrow. There it is, it's out, all cleaned up. Oh, my light went down off. Yeah, I just leave it like that, let it dry out a bit. I could even take out the bottom and let it dry out, but I'll just leave it for the moment. All the shrimp are back in and free. Like I said, I'll do it overnight and then I'll have a stock ready for tomorrow to take to the shops. But that concludes the video. I hope you use this design and you find it useful for catching your shrimp. I didn't end up catching any of my plecos or my cories, so pretty happy with that. I do believe the fish kind of get, think it's too small of a hole to go through. I did see some of the fish sucking along the edge and stuff like that, but yeah, they didn't go in. So I'm pretty keen to do some more kind of DIY videos. Gonna try and use my other camera and stuff and get some other shots. But that's about it for my DIY shrimp tank trap. Hope you use it, hope it helps out, and I'll see you in the next video.